Welcome, you guys. Thank you so very much for tuning in to Just Enough Spice, where we talk about ways to strive for better. So today I want to talk about inflation, used car prices, and my recent experience. For most people who know me, you know that a G-Wagon is my vehicle of choice. I love the way they drive. I love the way they handle the road. I love the way they look. And so since 2014, that has been the vehicle that I have gravitated towards and purchased. My most recent purchase was in May of 2019. I ordered the vehicle, I believe it was August 2018, and it took quite a while to come in because it was special order. When I got this vehicle, it was too beautiful. When I went to pick up the vehicle, this was a new body style and they had a bow on top of it, and I just thought I was so special. So I've had the vehicle for about 2.5 years, and when the pandemic hit, I stopped driving the vehicle, or at least I didn't drive it as much as I used to drive it because I have another vehicle. In January of 2022, I realized that prices for used vehicles were skyrocketing, and I just thought, well, I don't know if I'm going to keep this car much longer, because I had just been informed that Mercedes-Benz was going to come out with an electrical G-Wagon. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I can get one. Anyway, so I took my now current vehicle to CarMax to see what they were going to give me, or what the vehicle would appraise for. And I had a set number in the back of my mind, and if they were not going to offer me that particular number or above, I was not going to entertain selling the vehicle. So when I took the vehicle to CarMax, they did an assessment, took pictures, and then after maybe about 45 minutes, they came out and gave me an offer. And I must say that the offer was a lot more than I was thinking I was going to be receiving. And you guys are not going to believe this, but CarMax offered me almost 30% over what I paid for this vehicle. Yes, 30% over what I paid for this vehicle. And this is a depreciating asset that I purchased 2 years ago, and now I bring it back, and a company is willing to give me way more money than I paid for this vehicle. Inflation is coming, and it's coming hard. Granted, this vehicle was in fairly new condition. It had less than 7,000 miles. As I indicated, I barely drove it during the pandemic, but for another car dealership to pick up this vehicle, that, again, I will say a depreciating asset, and actually be willing to pay the amount that they offered, was quite an eye-opening experience. And it really led me to start thinking about inflation and how bad it possibly might get. Generally, when I go to buy these vehicles, I'm in the back of my mind, even though I like to invest, in the back of my mind, I know that buying this particular vehicle is not a good investment. So generally, when I purchase the vehicle, as I drive off the lot, I say, oh, well, there goes about 20%, maybe even 30%. So I was not anticipating getting this type of an offer from CarMax. Long story short, I sold my vehicle. So I know you guys are saying, oh gosh, why would you sell your vehicle? You loved it so much. And to me, as far as I'm concerned, it was just a possession. It was a ride to get me to and from where I needed to get to. And I feel as though the amount of money that I received is going to go a lot further if I put it, as far as I'm concerned, in the stock market for right now. Before I go any further, I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say here should be seen as financial advice. And this is just my opinion. And I'm hoping that you're not taking financial advice from someone who is wasting money on cars like that. That being said, I do believe that there's a downturn that's going to, or at least we're approaching a downturn in the stock market. The Feds have indicated that they are going to raise interest rates. I'm already seeing the stock market acting a little shaky. I do believe that the amount of money that we printed these past 2 years for whatever reason, stimulus, the CARE Act, and the other acts that we passed into law to enable people to either have forbearances, rental moratorium, unemployment checks. All these things that we did, I think, is going to affect the economy in a negative manner. And I wanted to be ready to jump into the stock market and purchase more of the stocks that I have conviction about. Now, I know that I said before that you do not time the stock market, and time in the stock market is better than time in the stock market. But I do believe around March, when the first rate hike goes through, I do believe that the stock market is going to get really shaky, and I want to be ready for it. And I just thought that maybe selling the vehicle and using those funds to invest in the stock market right now would be a better way for me to invest my money. The vehicle that I want is not going to be ready for at least another 2 years in 2024. So I can either drive, or I could have either continued to drive my current G-Wagon and put more miles on it with not having such a rosy outlook at the time that I go to sell my vehicle as I do or I did right now. I am going to miss my vehicle, but you know what? I think that right now is a perfect time if you can find a way to save a little bit of money and get ready for the possible downturn in the stock market. I think one can make quite a bit of money these next few years if you time it the right way. Once again, thank you so very much for tuning in to Just Enough Spice. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any comments about whether or not I made a mistake by selling the vehicle, please put it down in the section below. If you like the video, please give me thumbs up. Please share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.